I like to take people on little mental journeys so that they can see how their mind works and they can find themselves in environments that they enjoy so that they can understand and understand how their mind operates and how their mind produces some sort of three-dimensional reality, some physical environment. Show them how programs run inside of their brain. Step into ideas of dream worlds and overminds and soul groups and all of those kind of airy-fairy fanciful things, and how those really connect to what your reality is, what your actuality is, and how we navigate through the mental fields, how we navigate through how the mind operates. There's a lot of programs and systems running in the brain, and there's a lot of systems that seem to be running with no one at the helm in the outer world, in the outer environment that we see. And by coming to terms and comprehending how the mind functions and what its use is, and how to really navigate and explore how it operates, you can dissect and reassemble all of your ideas and all of the thoughts that might be passing through. A lot of people cling to the thoughts, the ideas, and there's ways to let those things and ideas go, like let them just pass by. And that's part of a larger idea of people trying to learn meditation, and it takes years and years and years, and some people maybe never become very successful at it, whatever success might be. How all of these terrible thoughts or these things that crop up in our brains, and then we have all of these wonderful thoughts. Why don't those ones come true? And then we notice that the terrible thoughts really don't come true either. So we find, like, what are these thoughts, and what do we attach ourselves to, and how do we maybe slow those thoughts down or have them not enter our mind and our space anymore. And the ways to do that, people try to correct the mind with the mind, and it's it's a fool's quest. It's you could go through life having Pyrrhic victory after Pyrrhic victory, and what that means is that you might win the fight, but you've basically lost the war because you've lost all of your mind, all of your men, that is of no value. So you spend your life trying to use the operating system in your mind to correct what might be imbalances in the mind, what might be the way thoughts are passing through, and we use those in non-constructive ways, and sometimes destructive ways. Yes, certainly we use thoughts in constructive ways as well, but trying to eliminate all of those things, the destructive thoughts, the constructive thoughts even, and getting rid of the thoughts altogether. And the way to do it isn't necessarily to sit there in meditation for hours and weeks and months, and there's a lot of things that go into that. Some is really your physical environment that will change, and by changing that, you change your inward, what's going on inside of your mind. I used to have this this idea, and it's pretty easy to see. If you look at someone's house, you can see how their mind is arranged. If you look at you see someone leaving cupboards open, or you watch somebody cook, or little idiosyncrasies of people. You can see things that are going on inside of their mind. And people have this idea that they can fix the mind with the mind when the mind is the thing that's in the way. You can't fix a salty soup with more salt. But if we go from a different direction, because if we consider that the outward environment actually affects us, we can, instead of trying to close our eyes and sit in meditation and say, okay, we've got control of our mind and control of our thoughts, and then we open our eyes up and we say, oh, look at this environment really hasn't changed too much. What you can do is, really, it's like simple things of cleaning up your house, cleaning up your environment, whatever it might be. Whether it's just a tiny little, as people put it, a sacred space, a little area where you can be focused, and what you do is, it's the idea of the flower of life. Then you make that area bigger. You multiply that area. If you can make a tiny little space, maybe it's just your bed, maybe it's a chair, maybe it's what people like to do is they step that up and make a little altar, and then they have things there that are anchor points for the mind. They're physical anchor points. And in the past, I've always talked about, like, you don't get to take any objects with you through the portal to the other dimensions. That's not part of the deal. You get to bring your brain. You get to bring your memories, not necessarily your brain, but your memories and your ideas. And so there is a way to get your mind in working order, to work for you.
No, you must create the instructions in your mind, my liege.
Huh, okay. Race car. Well, there's a lot of really cool stuff here. Don't see a wheel or 3 more wheels.
See, he can't do it. He will never be a master builder.
Of course not. Not if you keep telling him he can't. He needs to see that he can.
What are you doing?
We are entering your mind.
What?
To prove that you have the unlocked potential to be a master builder. Ujaiba.
Whoa, are we inside my brain right now? It's big. I must be smart.
I'm not hearing a lot of activity here.
I don't think he's ever had an original thought in his life.
That's not true. For instance, one time I wanted to have a bunch of my friends over to watch TV, not unlike this TV that just showed up magically. And not everybody can fit on my one couch. And I thought to myself, well, what if there was such a thing as a bunk bed, but as a couch? Introducing the double-decker couch. So everyone could watch TV together and be buddies.
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Please, Wildstein, let me handle this. That idea is just the worst. There must be something around here that proves his potential. If the man upstairs chose him to be the special, there must be a reason.
Who's the man upstairs?
See, he doesn't even know about the man upstairs.
Does he have like super gross hands that look like they're made out of big pink sausages? Like eagle talons mixed with squid?
Wait, you've seen the...
Whoa! That's what I was just thinking about!
How did you...
I had this weird dream when I touched the piece. Well, I mean, I wasn't asleep, so it wasn't really a dream.
Emmett, you had a vision.
I did?
Master builders spend years training themselves to clear their minds enough to have even a fleeting glimpse of the man upstairs, and yet your mind is already so prodigiously empty that there is nothing in it to clear away in the first place. With proper training, you could become a great master builder.
I could?
The prophecy chose you, Emmett.
But I can't do any of the stuff that the prophecy says I'm supposed to do.
All you have to do is to believe. Then, you will see everything. Are you ready, my son?
Yes, I am. I think.
Then we haven't a moment to lose. We must assemble the Master Builders.
We're sending up 2 shuttles, 2 teams.
If I do this, I'm going to want to take my own men.
You got it.
No, Mrs. Curleen, it's Harry Stamper. You see Bear, you tell him Harry's looking for him. These guys get off this rig, they scatter. J. Otis Curleen, Bear. Probably the only black man on a big dog in Kadoka, South Dakota.
Come and get Papa Bear!
Max.
You got a weight limit on the shuttle?
Max.
Hey, Mama!
Oh, that's so sweet, Max.
Hey, did you give me one of them yellow jelly bear
Maxie,
claws?
are you in trouble with the law again?
No, Mama.
Maxie.
I swear, Mama.
You know I want Rockhound.
We call him Hound because, well, he's horny. You might want to start with every bar in New Orleans. That is a big, shiny mountain.
How long you been married?
For 2 weeks.
See this diamond?
Yeah.
It's not a diamond. Would you like another drink?
Yeah.
Sir, FBI.
Nothing.
We have a national security matter.
Good for you.
Let's go. Now.
How old are you?
Oscar Choice, spacey but absolutely brilliant geologist. He owns a horse ranch outside of El Paso.
Mr. Chick Chapel. At the craps table, Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes! Last time.
Charles Chapel.
Game's over.
Who's gonna run the other rig? How about Benny? He's good.
The only one knows how to run as well as I do is AJ.
Thought you said you couldn't trust him.
I thought you said I could. Yeah, you are on your way, AJ.
Well, you know, being in business for yourself has its advantages. Make my own hours. Nobody shoots me in the leg. You don't got a gun on you now, do you? Oh, good. So I kind of wanted to get back to this whole thing about you asking me for help. Does that mean that there's actually a job that Mr. All Go, No Quit, Big Nuts Harry Stamper can't handle by himself? It needs my expert advice?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, no. I mean, is it something like that, or is it that?
Yeah, you and me got a real problem.
You know, Harry, there are only 5 words I want to hear from you right now. Those words are, you know, AJ, I really look up to you. You've been a hero of mine for a long time, and I'm very impressed with your work. I'm emotionally closed off. It's like 11 words or something. You know what? How about just, AJ, I'm sorry, and I love you.
No, AJ, there's not a job on the planet that I would want you to work with me on. I mean that.
So what are you doing here? Harry, what's the job?
What's up, baby? Yeah, what's up? Come on. What's up, Harry? Did NASA find oil on your anus, man?